we have like a boys' day Saturday now. I have friends, but I haven't had friends, I guess. I wasn't that social in my 20s. And it's still, even this year, I feel like I'm building foundation for a lot of things, right? This show's new. It's gaining momentum. It's growing fast, but we're in the building phases, the first 6 months of anything. I have a company that I'm starting that's been in the building phase for a year. My Twitch, I've been doing it 6 months. It's all building. And so like sometimes that gets grueling, and like anticipation, momentum goes up and down, excitement goes up and down, because like it's not like a trip. You get excited, you hop on the plane, and then you're there. Like building a company or a podcast can take years, if not months, to get to where you want, and potentially you're never where you actually want, right? You want to be the biggest podcast in the world. Right. And so my 20s was that for my entire career. Really, it was just all building. So I didn't have I had friends, obviously. We'd go to eat after we trained, et cetera, et cetera. Right. But now I obviously just have homies that we do. So we go work out, we film Saturdays, and then we find some food. Typically downtown, we ride bikes around. There's supposed to be this restaurant where a sushi chef went and opened a sandwich shop. So he takes his presentation from his sushi background and puts it into like sandwiches and salads.
Holy shit. Where is this?
It's called down right here. Right by the Capitol. Recess.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, so I'm starting a food Instagram. I had a photography Instagram, and I'm switching it to a food Instagram. Because I just don't take that many pictures, and I eat all the time, so it's easier. So we rode over there. It was closed. Beautiful weather right now in Sacramento. Yeah. Then there was a French fry festival.
Oh my God, I had duck fat fries while I was gone, by the way.
Yeah. So good. So this whole thing, the whole park at Roosevelt was all French fries, like 20 food trucks, all French fries. That's nuts. We ended up not doing that, but we should have. Then we just ended up at Dad's Deli, grabbed a sandwich. But point being, then we went and played some golf. We hit some balls at the golf range.
Did you go to like regular golf place or like Top
just
Golf?
Hagen. Okay. Yeah, regular golf. Connor's a real golfer, and then I used to kind of golf.
I saw that on Instagram. He's got a sweet swing.
Yeah, he's a real golfer. Yeah. And so, if you guys have any charity events, invite me. We'll come and win. So then we went and hit some balls, messed around, and then we came back downtown, and our buddy Kyle rode around with us. He wanted a beer. So we ended up at Beer Garden, which is a cool little outdoor beer spot here in Sacramento. Yep. Just had a beer, talked around, joked around. But then we heard that it was Second Saturday, which it started probably 10 years ago, maybe more.
I think maybe more, yeah.
Yeah, it was just an art festival kind of. And so artists, clothing companies, whatever it might be, would do pop-up shops, and people would kind of walk around and walk into different open houses and stuff like that with different companies. But now all of a sudden, I think only within the last year or less, it's become this huge thing where there's food trucks, bars, doors are open, people are serving beer on the streets. They shut down blocks and blocks of downtown.
There was a big one of those on Saturday night.
It was huge. Yeah. There's like a concert out there in the middle of like the street, like in our most crowded area. So we rode over there, and we were a little bit late to like the concert and stuff. It was kind of closing down. And I don't really like crowds, so we literally just rode by and then went home. But point being that things are happening. Things are happening. It makes me really excited.
I went through there on Saturday night. We got back from the East Coast. We spent a week in Nova Scotia and then a week up the Maine coast, which was crazy. It was really cool, beautiful, and like before the season started. Yeah. So basically, you can actually get into places, and the weather is a little, iffy one way or the other. We only had one day that was really just totally pouring rain. In Camden, Maine, we just got poured on. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. But
cold or medium?
Pretty medium. It wasn't bad at all. With even Halifax and the Nova Scotia area was not that bad.
Didn't die.
A little chilly, but windy. Really, I think is the whole thing with both places is windy. But no, I came into that because Comedy Spot. My show that I'm normally in. They had a performance that night,
and that's the corners on.
Yeah, and I couldn't make it in time for the performance, and I woke up. I mean. In my defense, I woke up at 4:00 in the morning, relative to this time zone, in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. I had to drive an hour to the airport in Boston, and then flew in. So there was no way. So I shot a bunch of video of the show. I got in there like 5 or 6 minutes late, but holy crap, there was a lot of people still dispersing from that thing in in Midtown. That was crazy.
Yeah, it's popping off. Cops everywhere, security everywhere. It's cool that they close off the whole street, I think, to make it like more walkable and stuff. One issue we do have is obviously parking down here, which is why I like to ride my bike everywhere. It makes it nice, but eventually they'll fix that. A bunch of money getting thrown around here.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like, I mean, we're very close to that soccer, MLS soccer team coming.
Now they're talking about redoing our river walk. We're surrounded by water here in Sacramento. It's like one of the main things to do in the summer is go rafting down the river. But we don't have like any like touristy areas. Like you go to any beach, San Francisco, San Diego, there's always like a touristy area by the water. And so they're trying to redo our waterfront, make it more walkable, more scenic. And all the restaurants and bars there are just kind of old. So I think they're trying to revamp that, put a little like theater for like concerts and stuff outdoor, which would be absolutely sick. And then it's also walkable to where most of our bars and basketball stadium is and shit. And that's another thing, which we'll talk about in the next episode. One of our friends opened a cycling class, and I don't think I talked about it.
No, you haven't talked about it.
But we took it. But talking about opening cycling classes and talk about fitness, our guest today is Alan Thrall, Mr. Untamed Strength, a good friend of mine, a good friend of the show.
The untamed hair and the untamed beard.
Big old YouTuber, hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
We watched that happen.
Yeah.
We watched that happen. More than anybody else that I know, he totally self-made
100%.
on YouTube.
He probably had 500,000 subscribers on YouTube before he even met another YouTuber. He was just literally in his own little zone. Wasn't off shout-outs, collaborations, or anything. 100% self-made. Opened his own gym. He's a powerlifter, strongman, does some weightlifting. But he's super like smart. He's handy, and he's done multiple types of videos, from the regular training vlog, food vlog. But
he was a Marine, right?
He was a Marine, and he was I forgot what it's called. He'll know, but it was like he carried dead bodies around.
Ooh,
but here, like the funeral guy, the bearer.
Oh,
but it's like a pretty like honored
color guard.
Yeah,
kind of.
There's like an exact name that he has.
Okay,
we'll wait.
Well,
was it? Corpse bearer. Is it a corpse? No, his is like this group with a name though. That like other Marines will know. You know, it's like a thing. I don't know. But and then came to Sacramento, opened his own gym. But a lot of videos he has is like how to find equipment, finding good equipment, and then like making the most out of the least. So common question I get, you probably get, how do you open a home gym? How do you open a garage gym? What do you need in your garage gym? What's the best equipment? What's going to last? And now with like powerlifting getting really popular, CrossFit, weightlifting, strongman, general just fitness, people are squatting more. There's more specialty equipment. And with more specialty equipment and more popularity with it, there's more companies, there's more options.
Yep.
Sometimes there's a higher price tag. And how do we do that kind of maybe on a budget? And then, what's maybe necessary?
I've never really had a home gym, like way back in the day when I just had little kids and I had no time to do anything. I had believe it or not, a Soloflex.
Yeah.
But before that, I had a buddy who had his own bench press, and he couldn't keep it in the house that he was living in. And so we put it in our spare bedroom in this duplex, and then my son was born, and so he was born with a room that had a bench press in it.
Yeah, baby room.
Yep. And I used it regularly back then, but I wasn't really time to do anything else. I was like finishing up my bachelor's degree and working and having a kid, and so it was I just didn't have the fitness focus at that point. And then I've never really had, like I said, really had a garage gym. I never had anything like that. I would not know exactly how to approach it. I don't have a garage now either, so that's another thing.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. I grew up without a garage. My grandmother lived with us. She had early onset Alzheimer's and dementia, and so we had my family, or like my childhood home, had a 3.5 car garage when they bought it, and my mom converted that into basically an apartment for my grandma. So she had her own bathroom, bedroom, and it looked like a house, but it was literally the garage. So we never had a garage. Plus, my dad wasn't really into lifting weights. Like he played sports a little bit. Like he refereed for a bunch of basketball leagues and jog around and play some basketball, golf, et cetera, et cetera. But I lifted weights in high school, but I went to a gym and a trainer. And then past that, I was at a commercial gym. I think we had a gym membership to some commercial that I would go and lift at. But I never really did either. I did open a gym, which is a long story for another day and another podcast that I don't talk about a lot. I don't know why. I mean, it failed, and I was ashamed of it for a while, but it's just part of my story now. But we'll get into that next time. So I have some experience because I did open my own gym. and I can tell you what not to do. But I think Alan can hopefully tell us what to do. You know, I'd imagine it's just hard because the last time I searched for this stuff, probably 2008 when I opened my own gym and I was Craigslist hunting. So, I mean, if I have any tips to start, I guess is to start cheap. But it depends on the budget too, because, you know, Rogue and some of these companies make things pretty affordable now too. You know, you get like maybe a barbell that'll last you a lifetime for $300.
Right.
Which really isn't bad. And I feel like when I was doing this, 2008, 2009, it was even more niche. So maybe the price tags were more because there was less companies. And so like to get a good barbell, I felt like I had to spend $600, and I didn't have that as an 18-year-old trying to open a gym. So I was trying to like just budget my shit out.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're going to basically, if you're trying to work out at home because you don't want to spend the money going to a global gym, or you don't have access to it, you're a powerlifter, you don't have access to a powerlifting gym, and you want to have specialty bars. The guy that I think about here too is like Brandon Camel Diamond.
Yeah. He's real popular on YouTube for just training vlogs, but now because he has a kid and stuff, he's more popular for building his own home gym.
Right. I was going to say, what would you say was essential just off the top of your head? Like a power rack so you can squat?
I think if I'm opening one now, I'm basically going power rack. I'm spending, say whatever budget we want. Let's just make up money for now. Alan hopefully can get us some specifics for us. But let's say we have $5,000. I'm spending like a third of that on the power rack and making sure it's nice. Quarter of the third on a barbell, and then the rest on like plates.
Yeah,
and like flooring.
Do you need dumbbells?
I don't think you need them. You know, and I guess this all depends on everyone's goals and stuff. And for me, I guess it depends.
Do you need a GHR? Do you need a reverse hyper?
So that's what I see a lot on Instagram. Like all these people have really sick home gyms, and they're going GHR and like reverse hyper and stuff first. Like that's the last thing, not last thing I'm getting. They're great tools, but that's close to the last thing I'm getting. I'm going rack.
That's a 5%er and not a
10%.
10%.
Yeah, I'm going rack, barbell, good plates.
Yeah,
flooring that's good. Maybe even for me personally, sound system that's good or something like that. And then I'm probably going like dumbbells, maybe even kettlebells, a good bench, and not necessarily a bench press, but a movable one. A lot of times the movable benches are shit and they just feel bad. I'd get a good rolly bench
that you can do incline.
Yeah,
too,
you got to do an incline, and then probably dumbbells, and then maybe a cable. I might go a nice cable that either fits into the rack or just a standalone one cable deal. Or I really do like the free motions. They're basically like a stand-up thing with two arms that move either way. And it's like a cable machine that you can kind of set up for anything. Triceps or cable crossover, whatever. Yeah. Those are pretty space efficient. They're probably pretty expensive. I don't even know.
I don't have a clue.
Yeah, but I might not go dumbbells and just go, squat rack, barbell, and then that free motion. And I can get all my tension and isolation off that thing.
I would not have thought about flooring for a personal garage gym before, but now it's a thing.
I think you have to, unless you want to crack up the cement, or you go bumpers. Maybe you go bumpers and you can do some cement.
Yeah, but I think it stays warmer. I think
probably.
I mean, and most climate control is another issue. Like either you're going to be super hardcore and you're going to sweat your ass off in the summer, you're going to freeze your ass off in the winter, or you're going to figure out some way to mitigate that.
Well, we're pretty lucky too. Like even if it's hot and cold, we can do it. You go hoodie on in the winter and sweats, and then summer you just go shirt and shorts, and you're going to be hot, but you'll be fine. It's different with our buddy Brandon Campbell, who's probably freezing in the winter, I'd imagine, and he probably has to adjust to that. He's in the basement of Rhode Island. It's a little different, and so Alan's take will probably obviously be more California take, but everywhere in California except for our mountains, except for Tahoe, you'll probably be fine with that. But I'd imagine nearly everywhere else in the country, you're gonna have to figure that shit out.
We had an Airbnb in Nova Scotia, like right on a lake. It was nice. It was $67 a night.
I hate that.
Nuts. Yeah, it was so cheap, and but it had a basement. It had a finished basement, not like nicely finished, but finished enough, and it really wasn't that cold down there.
Yeah. I remember the only basement I know is the house my dad grew up in Cleveland. My grandpa's house had a basement, and it wasn't AC heat. But same thing. You could go down there in the winter, and the ground's cement and cold, but like it was finished or whatever, I guess, kind of, like semi-insulated.
Yeah.
It felt like a room.
Yeah.
It just didn't have vents. And so you could go down there, and they had a TV down there and a bar down there, so my cousins would go down there and drink and watch TV and stuff, and it was livable. Even though it's 30 outside, it was probably like 50 in there or something.
Yeah, well, the constant temperature of the ground
Yeah.
on Earth is
in your underground
is 54 degrees.
Yeah, so in your underground, basically a little bit in a basement. So
Yeah.
it's decent. But the other thing too is I think depending on where you live, even in California, our issue becomes a lot of people don't have garages.
Yep.
Because we don't need them for our cars, and so or your apartment or you live downtown. I'm lucky I have a garage, but it's 2-car, and there's nowhere else to park. So if I built a gym, I guess I could get like street parking by the city, but that sounds like a hassle, and I don't want to do that because I've thought about it. I was going to build one out. And then the other thing too, mentally, I think, and this isn't the topic we're going into, but mentally for me, I've thought about it, and I think I'd work out weaker and less if I had a home gym. There's something about it, like even having caffeine, getting in my car, or getting my bicycle, and listening to music, driving to the gym is like part of my ceremony or my preparation. Like I'm going to do this now. Like I'm ready to work out because I grabbed my backpack and I've had caffeine and now it's time to work out.
Yeah.
Or if I'm at my house, I could build a new routine, but it'd be weird for me. Like I'm walking into my garage. Sometimes I walk into my garage to get in my car. Sometimes I walk into my garage to squat. Sometimes I walk into my garage to take the garbage out. You know, the mental switch isn't like there, even though the path is the same. Where I know I take these roads. Now I'm at Alan's gym, which is where I work out, and now it's time to squat. You know what I mean? And so I understand some people are busy and can't do otherwise or like the convenience of it, but I don't know if I'd like it that convenient.
I think you have to have a certain mindset about it for it to work for you. I don't know that I'm ever going to be that guy.
Yeah, me neither.
I need kind of the break. Like I don't even work at home anymore if I can avoid it. That's why I have this office.
I have an office in my house, and so it kind of works for me, and my work is pretty casual. So if I had like a real job and like whatever it might be, I don't know, accounting or something, and I could work hypothetically from home, I don't think I would either.
Yeah.
Because it's, again, that switch where my home work is like content creating. So I'm just kind of like being myself. And so I can do that at my house. But if I had to do like math or like, or whatever, like, I don't think, like, even at my growing up, I would do all my homework, even though I had a desk in my room, I would do all my homework in my dad's office in my house. Because like something in my head would be like, all right, well, this is the work room, and the desk in my room is for video games or whatever, music.
No, that makes sense. It makes sense. My younger son did all of his homework on the love seat in our family room forever.
My sister kind of did that, I think.
Yeah,
just worked out in the middle or the kitchen. She didn't give a shit.
Yeah, wasn't enjoying himself enough that he wanted to be very far from the center of everything.
Yeah.
I got that. But yeah, I think that I don't edit at home unless I absolutely have to. I do social media shit from home, which we all do.
Phone,
we do it everywhere. I do research at home some of the time.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily sit around here doing research sometimes. Depends.
Yeah. That's an issue too for all of it to like bleed over. Like if you're a real intense power lifter, like the gym starts to take over your mind if it's at home maybe, or like that obviously happens with my work. I'll be up at 11 and I'll be in bed on my laptop like watching a movie, and then something will pop in my head creatively for work or research, and I'll just be in bed at 11 working on my laptop researching my companies or whatever I'm doing. Like, that's not healthy.
No, it's not really good.
You know what I mean? So sometimes it is good to have that separate space. Like, all right, I'm only going to research this thing when I drive to the office and do these things.
Right. Yeah. It's not good mental hygiene. Not good sleep hygiene.
Yeah, for sure not.
Yeah. I try. I don't use the computer in bed really at all.
Yeah. Sadly, I do. I should change that. I should just get the satellite TV back is what I should get, because they just have dumb movies.
Oh,
and you know, rather than I'm on my computer like watching Twitch or Netflix or whatever, I just need like a dumb TNT movie. I need to turn on Avengers 3 or something or 1, you know, just like background noise. But I don't have that shit. That's literally what I need.
If I have to sleep alone, like in a hotel room or whatever, I'll go to sleep with a TV on. But otherwise,
I used to.
I don't have a TV in the bedroom anymore. So.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Oh well, let's see what Alan says.
Yeah, let's see what Alan says about this. I'm sure he's got an opinion.
Building a home gym, he's got a bunch. Some people may or may not know me in real life. Shout out to those that do, you lucky bastards. But you know, one, the show was named after, I guess, me.
Yeah,
in a selfish way, is because I always got to be right. I started off saying that the Italians and the Nazis invented Nutella, and although that may be a hair of a reach, it is correct. And to make sure that you're right, just Google it. It's right. And to make sure that you're correct, because everybody loves to be right, whether you're arguing with your friends, you're exploring your knowledge in life, trivia, whatever it might be, we teamed up with the Great Courses Plus, which is a resource of knowledge, thousands and thousands and thousands of videos on any topic you want to learn, from business, entrepreneurship, to fitness, physiology, history, anything of that nature.
I was checking out the ones on the history of England and Scotland and Wales and Ireland over the weekend. I hadn't really seen any of them, and I actually was there last year about this time, as a matter of fact, and there were so many things I missed. Now I need to go back. There's a lot of great information. It's really easy to consume it. There are so many different topics. Pretty much anybody can get something out of a subscription with the great courses. So many different ways to consume the information as well, because apparently there's an app, and if you want to just listen as opposed to watching while you're out, just like use it kind of like you'd use a podcast to fill time, although you should keep listening to this one because we're just in so much alignment with what the Great Courses Plus is providing.
Like I said, thousands of lectures, all by top-level teachers, professors, et cetera, on as many topics as you want. I'm probably going to check out some of the business stuff, as you guys know I dropped out of college. But I want to get my learnt on. Done a bunch of different courses, I guess, on the app. Again, audio if you want to check it out. In particular, they have a physiology and fitness course. If you guys want to learn about what this video is about, home gyms, or this podcast is about home gyms, building your workouts, etc. The physiology and fitness lecture will teach you about what's happening within your body, what's going on exactly while you're training and building out your workouts, some knowledge to create your own fitness routines. And right now, thanks to the Great Courses Plus, we have teamed up and we worked out a fantastic deal to get you guys an entire month for free. That's a full free month to unlimited access to all the lectures they have, all thousands, tons of different topics. All you have to do is sign up today. thegreatcoursesplus.com/facts, FACTS. That's thegreatcoursesplus.com/facts for a free month, unlimited courses.
Get in there now. Check this out. No point in letting this sit around. There's information in there that you probably would love to get today. So check it out, thegreatcoursesplus.com/facts, FACTS, facts.
Get your learn on. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Adam Paul, the evil brother of Alan Thrall, who you guys may know from YouTube, has graced us with his presence. We don't have a lot of people in studio, only the people that we know don't smell bad and are really handsome. So
it means a lot.
Yeah. So we got Alan here because multiple things. One of my training partners. 2, one of my favorite people. And 3, the guy has done loads and loads of content. He's really good at making content, whether you guys want to lift weights, watch lifting weights, learn how to lift weights, learn the intricacies of programming technique, anything like that on YouTube. But also, he's a very successful business owner. And in that, he has owned a gym. And so what we're trying to figure out is how to make a home gym. Say I don't want to go to Untamed. Don't be offended. But I want to build something in my garage.
Or you just need like a couple days a week that you can't get wherever, and you still want to work out. And so, like, basically, like, what do you really need to make it work for you?
I suppose it depends on your goals or how you want to train. But if it was me, I'd want a squat rack, a barbell, and some plates to start. If we want to get into specifics,
yeah.
Can I say brands?
Yeah, dig in.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can bash brands for all I care.
I would go with me personally, a Rogue R3, just the 2x3 rack.
Yeah. Is that kind of the skinnier one where it's kind of like a foot by 3? I made that up.
So
but
it's the
like
same width as the 3x3, but the rack is only 2 inches wide.
Oh, okay.
Which gives a little more space between the plates and the rack.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do a 3x3 anymore. Have you noticed that?
I think it's just the old collegiate style, and that's just like the way it is kind of deal, yeah?
Yeah, I think it was. We're going to make all our racks 3x3 and all of our accessories 3x3, so now you have to upgrade.
Well, that's true of the ones that are made with the 1-inch spaces. That's Louis Simmons owns a patent on that 1-inch space. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the West Side space.
Yeah, the West Side space.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That's can be useful too.
Yeah, very.
But I'd get a Rogue R3 rack. My bar of choice, if I was to had a home gym, would probably be a B&R bar.
I don't even know if I know it.
Yeah, it's Behringer and Ripito made a barbell, and the only reason I like that one is because it has power marks and weightlifting marks. The knurling is good and grippy, but it's not too aggressive.
Yeah,
It has center knurling, but again, the knurling's somewhat fine. So if you wanted to power clean or front squat, you can.
Yeah.
I usually use an Ohio power bar, but I'm not going to do front squats or power clean with an Ohio power bar.
Yeah. beat up your neck.
Yeah. But you can do pretty much anything, and I even deadlift with a BNR bar, and it's grippy enough to.
What are some of the prices on some of these things? When you start to think about building a home gym, obviously everyone's budget's different. I've seen like Ronnie Coleman's, after he won a couple Olympias, like his home gym and some of those videos, he's like in that glass outhouse, and that thing had to be $100,000 or something.
Right,
he had, like every machine in the world. But like, what do you? Let's say a budget.
Outhouse.
What? Yeah, maybe not an outhouse. Sunroom.
Maybe something.
Sunroom. I guess outhouses aren't a thing.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Like $5,000. Like what's that barbell cost?
No, that barbell is $300.
Okay, and then the rack.
The rack is
$1,000?
an R3 is like an older. They have like the Rogue Monster lights now, which are more expensive. But no, that's like a, I don't know, $599 probably.
Oh, that's really good.
It's
And is that where you're going with Rogue when you name drop, like price and quality?
Yes, because Rogue is, of all the companies I've purchased from, they're the most consistent. They're actually going to deliver in the time that the website says, and I've never had any issues with their customer service. I've always only had a good experience with the customer service. Can't really say that for all the other brands.
Yeah.
So if you care about a bunch of things like that, I've just had best experience from purchasing from Rogue. And I do think that if you usually for things like a rack or a barbell, buy cheap, buy twice. There are like $250, $300 racks. And I suppose if you're not lifting that much weight and
Doesn't
it's
really
just
matter.
you using it, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I might approach this a little differently if it was a home gym. But as far as if I was purchasing equipment for the gym,
Yeah.
I need stuff that's going to be that can handle heavy use.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that's why I'm going with Rogue. The customer service, the quality of the products, and it's fairly fast shipping, delivery. So anyways.
What about plates? I know, Untamed, which we'll get into in the next episode. That's why I had Alan here, guys, because obviously he owns a successful gym, successful YouTube, and he's a smart guy. But he's a real critical thinker. And I think that's actually, I got a random question on Instagram the other day, and I never thought about it. Kids like, why do you only hang out with people that don't take drugs? And I was like, he phrased it different. He phrased it better, but he was just basically saying, because like I post pictures with you and I post pictures with Omar, and I was like, well, that's not the case. Like I have plenty of friends that decided to take PEDs and lift weights. It just happens that me, Alan, and Omar are the same age.
Yeah.
We all think similarly in terms of a lot of things. And Omar and Alan in particular are very critical thinkers, and I tend to be super critical as well, but I don't verbalize it. They verbalize it well. I just internalize it and go insane. But it helps me to be around people that kind of think the same way as I do. And that's why I had Alan for these episodes, is because he thinks about like, wow, that guy was a dick on the phone. Like, why is he being a dick? Or, oh, why is that J hook on that rack like that? That doesn't make sense. And he really thinks that way. So that's why we wanted him for this episode and the next episode, because he's really good at it. Plates, where I was getting is, Untamed's been around for a very long time. So you have a variety of plates and a variety of equipment in your gym. Is there somewhere special or a special type of plate we're looking for when you're building a home gym?
So when I first opened Untamed Strength, it was much smaller than it is now, and I didn't. So I didn't buy that many plates. I bought like honestly a handful of plates just off of Craigslist. I actually scratched that. I bought some plates off of Rogue. They're just standard 45-pound iron plates. It's like Olympic standard or something like that. So I bought 6 of those on Rogue. After that, I just bought plates on Craigslist, and for over 3 years, like 3.5 years, I was just acquiring more plates. It was like, hey, I found 4 or 5 more plates. Sometimes odd numbers, like I found 5, 7 plates. On Craigslist. So I just bought more and more for the gym, and it got to the point where the whole gym had just a ton of different random plates, miscellaneous plates. And some of them were cheap plates. And so they do crack, they break, and a lot of these plates were starting to chip, crack down the center.
Rust,
yeah. And some of them were noticeably much heavier than others. I'm not too particular. I'm not a powerlifting princess. But when you were like carrying them, it was like, what in the hell? This is so much different.
It's like maybe 5 pounds or something off.
Yeah, so I but I made it a point to never weigh the plates, because I was like, I know that if I know this plate weighs more or this plate weighs less, based off the scale, I'm gonna avoid it, or I'm gonna be drawn toward it. So I said I'm not gonna weigh.
I've been down that rabbit hole.
Yep. And anyways, eventually, I got to a point where I was like, all right, I'm gonna sell all these plates, and I'm going to outfit the gym with completely matching plates. So I bought plates, Troy, the black Troy iron calibrated plates.
Yeah.
So they're guaranteed within 2% accuracy. And so I bought those, and I think I remember being in the gym, and I said, all right, I'm going to buy enough so that every squat rack, every deadlift platform, and every bench could use 405 at the same time, which is way more than
Yeah.
So that's what I bought.
And those are a little more expensive, I assume, because they're calibrated of some nature?
Yeah, it's honestly not that bad. I remember looking at the price, and it's not too bad. If I was to just be buying plates for a home gym, I probably wouldn't buy plates online just because of having to pay for shipping.
Yeah.
I would probably just go to Plate Against Sports or something like that to get plates.
Yeah.
I don't think those exist anymore.
No, they do.
Oh, do they?
I go there sometimes. Yeah.
Really? Because me and Connor were just talking about it for like golf stuff or bicycles. I was like, bro, that store was genius. Yeah. Like
I think it's up.
there used to be one on Arden, but
I think there's one up north.
Yeah, there's one in there's
the
one
north.
not too far from the gym.
Oh,
but I would
okay.
probably just buy plates from there. Honestly.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I suppose it doesn't really matter, especially if you're just in your own home gym.
Yeah.
And if the plate's 47 pounds or 44 pounds, no big deal. So I would probably buy there. But believe it or not, in my experience, buying plates, people think, oh, that shipping's gonna kill you. When I bought those plates, thousands and thousands of pounds, shipping wasn't that bad, and it's because of the size. So you can fit a lot of. Oftentimes, like UPS freight doesn't go off of weight; it goes off of how much space in the truck it's
like
taking.
pallets.
So if you have one pallet, 4x4 pallet stacked with 45s, it might be like $300 to ship.
Yeah.
You get an Elite FTS leg press, and it's like fucking $900 to ship.
Yeah.
So the weight isn't actually the issue. So it's not that bad. But I'd probably just buy something from Craigslist.
What about the rack and bar from Craigslist? Too risky?
Again, like if you're not lifting that much weight and it's just you using the rack, just go with whatever you can budget.
Yeah.
But me personally, I'd like a good rack and a good bar.
Yeah. Rather than buy it twice, like you said.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Do you have any experience with the foldable racks, the ones that mount on the wall?
The idea seems
I
genius.
don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea, but I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it'd be great for a garage gym if you're looking to like park your car
Still
in there.
park your car there.
So I think that would be a good idea, and it'd be worth it. I know that I've been to CrossFit gyms that have them just to make more floor space.
But again, if you're squatting 600 opposed to 300,
right? So I actually have some online clients who have that foldable Rogue rack, and there are some limitations. Like this one guy. It's kind of iffy when he does rack pulls because he has to use the spotters on the outside, which is a whole lot of weight pulling on the wall.
On the wall, yeah.
And then he can't do. Sometimes I just like to get creative, especially with someone who trains in their garage. It can get boring, just squat, bench, deadlift all the time. So if I want to do stuff like banded bench or banded deadlifts or even reverse band deadlifts, reverse band bench. I do like putting that stuff in routine, and you can't do that. It's
off of one of those racks,
right?
Yeah,
it's similar to a like squat stands. I mean, you can't use bands. So I would probably just go with a rack.
Makes sense.
I would also install or make a deadlift platform. I forgot that.
Yeah, some wood on the ground.
Yeah.
Or padding. Yeah, we talked about flooring.
So you would not bust up your concrete.
So obviously it depends on the goals, depends on the budget, etc. But I guess in the Alan Thrall's daddy home gym, rack, plates, barbell, what's the next step for you if you got a little bit more money laying around? What's the next equipment?
I'd probably get a prowler sled. That'd be my conditioning tool.
Yeah.
Push that out in the front. As far as like incorporating something like strongman, I think that sandbags are good. You can do carries with them, which would simulate like a keg carry or something, or you can do loads with them, like a stone, without having to, pick up Atlas stones in your garage.
Make it yourself?
Yeah. Or the Rogue sandbags I think are the best. I've used the Iron Mine sandbags and the Cerberus sandbags. I've used military duffel bags. They all rip and break. Rogue seems to be the best. So
there you go.
And you just get just for people who are not thinking about the logistics of this, like you get the bag and then you buy the sand
Yep,
and
and
put
you
it
just
in
buy
the bag.
sand and fill it with
They
sand.
don't ship you a sand bag. So
Right.
you will not be using it the first day unless you have prepared by going to Home Depot and getting a bag of sand.
Yes, exactly. You
Okay.
get the bag and you fill it with sand, and you should fill it with, if you're thinking about doing this, with washed play sand,
Right.
not dirt. I've tried to be cheap and just filled sandbags with dirt.
Yeah.
And the dirt, all the fine dust, every time you drop it, it's just cloud of dust everywhere.
Yeah.
And the sandbag gets filthy. So if you're sweating, you're just like covered in mud almost, because the dirt just comes through the sandbag. And if there's small rocks in that dirt, it does tear the sandbag up. So you have to use actual like clean play sand.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It does make sense. So let's ask a kind of a programming question. If you're a powerlifter, would you benefit from having that kind of tool in your in your options, I guess?
Yeah, I think so. I think that incorporating some sort of conditioning into your routine, just depending on who you are, is always a good thing. And carrying a sandbag or doing like sandbag over shoulder
Right.
or something like that, I think is definitely useful, especially when someone wants to incorporate conditioning. I'm not going to make them buy a treadmill. And typically, I don't know, if it's an overweight guy, I'm not going to go tell him to, run a couple miles.
No.
So maybe just carry some sandbags. So I think so, but certainly you could do well in powerlifting and never touch a sandbag. But I think that for someone who trains in a home gym, yeah, surely it could be useful.
Can't hit a squat PR with a heart attack.
No, that's true. And just a conditioning issue about powerlifting, as far as I'm concerned, is that like when you compete in powerlifting, the day is long.
Oh, yeah.
Or incredibly short.
Or incredibly short.
Depending
Yeah,
on
if
where
you
you're at.
If you suck, it's over soon.
Or even just different, certain federations now, you're in and out in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like a national. I've heard nationals of
serious?
USAPL. They're
They're like on a flight schedule.
they're whipping flights. I mean,
Yeah,
there's like 2,000 people competing in 3 days.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
whipping you out.
Yeah.
If you start at 10, you're done at 12:30. If you
Yeah.
start at 12:45, you're done at 3. Like you're whipping through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you get to eat. Where
I
like
think-
our old school powerlifting meets, I squatted. I was the first flight. I squatted, I believe, at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't pull my last pull until 8:45 at night. I stepped off the platform.
That's just poor management. It's right there.
Yeah, I have similar story. Yeah, same, pretty much same thing. I think that a good argument for being conditioned is if you're able to, I might have someone do some conditioning far out from a meet, so that once we start accumulating a lot more volume, you're better able to handle it. Your work capacity is higher. So if you do, I want to get better at powerlifting. And I'm like, well, we need to do 5 or 6 sets of 5, and that like kills you.
Yeah.
Then maybe it's a good idea beforehand to do some conditioning, such your work capacity is there when we actually want to start accumulating volume in the right areas.
Yeah.
It's real cool in 2019 for all these raw powerlifters to bash a Louis Simmons or a Westside or a Conjugate, but something Louis Simmons is huge on.
Yeah.
Maybe a little too huge, but big on is GPP, general physical preparedness, and every sport has a level of GPP you need. Soccer's GPP is pretty big. You need to jog, sprint, turn sideways, all these things. Powerlifting's maybe a little bit lower, but you have to have some kind of recoverability or general fitness.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. What do you think about flooring that outside of the deadlift platform?
I don't think you need anything past that. I wouldn't see any reason as far as for a garage gym. I don't think you need anything past a platform.
Why are they so fucking expensive? If you buy one, I feel like they're like $600 to $1,200. I know you make them a platform.
Oh yeah. Oh god, no. I would. Yeah.
But why is that?
I've never bought a platform. I just make them with plywood and horse stall mats.
And you could just do 2 layers of horse stall mats, probably, if you wanted, right?
Yeah, you could. Again, just depending on how much you're lifting. If you were deadlifting like 400 or 500 pounds regularly, I probably wouldn't just stack it on horse stall mats. One, because the floor is not going to be that protected, depending on how fast you drop it, and you start to get this spring effect when you set the weight down.
Yeah.
But
It'll bounce back up into your hands pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what's weird? Alan might have an answer. I don't know if I've asked you this. Both sports, weightlifting and powerlifting, compete in typically standard flooring. A lot of federations in powerlifting do like a short carpet, like an office carpet, like here. Some do all rubber. weightlifting is also often some type of rubber or short carpet at big meets, weightlifting style. Very rarely are either of them on plywood or wood. Why does everybody train on plywood or wood?
Well, I can answer the why carpet.
The carpet kind of makes sense.
The carpets to cover up pee, baby powder,
Yeah,
and chalk,
yeah,
so it's not happening on wood.
yeah.
So it's always grippy.
I just feel like, I don't know about weightlifting because it's not my expertise, but like I feel like all powerlifting should just be done on rubber, competing and training. You could do plywood underneath, like you said, to the shock and the protect the floor, but
Yeah,
it just seems weird to me because you look at every national meet or any even semi well done run meet.
I think because carpet will never fail.
Yeah.
You could have. I mean, even if I hosted a meet at Untamed Strength and I had all rubber platforms. If I had the doors up and it was really wet out, the rubber gets wet.
Yeah, I wonder. Some carpets, I guess,
sense.
aren't slippery. Because I know people, those sumo guys, those guys that don't really deadlift, complain about carpet sometimes.
Sumo.
Yeah,
just
just
around.
like pushing out. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
maybe it depends on shoes.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know. That's just a question I've asked many smart folk, and none of us have answers.
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. I know that like powerlifting specific gyms tend to have platforms with carpet.
Yeah, like a Alico makes a platform that Barbell has one of those.
But I at Untamed Strength I have 4 of the platforms have the wood center, and then 2 of them are just all rubber mat.
Yeah, your little deadlift platform.
And I could just do all rubber mats. That works perfectly fine.
And wood makes sense for me for a weightlifter because you're moving your feet, and so you almost you want it to be sticky but not. Yeah. It's kind of like a basketball.
Yeah, you don't want to weightlift on. Yeah, you don't want to do a split jerk on rubber.
Right, because you need to move your feet, but then like they don't really always compete on wood either.
I think they do.
I think they compete on carpet.
Weightlifting?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I think so. It's not always wood.
I think it's not always wood.
I'm going to look it up right now. You guys continue. I swear, because I've had this conversation
know.
with Ben, too, and he's like, oh, yeah, I never thought about it. Because when you're actually competing, you're only on
I would not want to do a split jerk on carpet.
You're only on the platform for like 10 seconds, You never really think about it.
To the extent you have to slide your feet.
And you have to...
Oh, here's Wood International in China.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a meet with carpet.
I don't know what it is. I don't think it's wood, though.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't think it's wood. That's our nationals.
Yeah.
There's a Chinese lifter.
Is there sound to it?
Oh, probably. Oh, you got to turn it up on the side, yeah. We're looking at, shout out West Kids, Cal Strength, smashing
If
weights.
you can hear his feet.
I think it's at the Pan Ams.
Yeah, it's too loud.
The music's going wild.
I know.
That's the loudest music I've ever heard at a weightlifting meet, by far.
We'll listen to his feet.
This is picking it up pretty good.
Yeah.
No, dude, they got the epic Rocky music going on.
If you can hear his feet clap, I don't think it's carpet.
But then look at this, though, because then you go international, and you could clearly tell it's wood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hit that foot slap is real
but
clear.
I've noticed maybe it's just
colored wood.
And maybe it's just America, or it's like this stuff. I don't know what that is. It's like a track. Like clay track?
Really?
Kind of. It's like a rubber track looking thing.
This is a whole separate episode, I feel like.
Yeah, but I don't have the answer.
Well, we need to find somebody who has the answer, right?
No one's got the answer.
Nobody?
No one.
There's
I
got to
think
be.
for 99.9% of people
It
listening,
don't matter.
flooring doesn't matter.
Yeah, this stuff is cool, though. Speaking of flooring, if you're trying to go all out, I like this, where the platform, and they use this rubber. It's like it's like a wood-rubber combo deal. It's like track. It's like probably the nicest Olympic track. You know what I mean? They put that like in the ground. So it's flush with the rest of the garage.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys got the budget, do that. It looks fucking sick.
It does look pretty good. Climate control we don't have to worry so much about in California other than it just gets hot. It doesn't get so cold. Excuse me.
Bless you. Thank you.
So thoughts on that? Is Untamed, do you have any?
Untamed is Untamed, I think.
Totally
not,
Untamed.
Yeah, it's not climate controlled. And the only time it becomes an issue for me is the barbells. So if it is, raining for a good week, the gym gets pretty damp. And so some of the barbells, the bare steel barbells, will slightly rust.
Get a little rusty.
But I mean, if you only have one bar to take care of in your home gym. Just a little 3-in-1 oil every once in a while
Yeah.
is going to protect it. So that is something to consider. Is the bars will rust if it's bare steel. If you're like a home gym in Louisiana, I probably would not go with the BNR bar because it is bare steel. I'd get some stainless steel bar so that you don't have to take care of it.
Something with a good coating that's not going to break down.
Yeah. But as far as being hot and humid or wet in the gym and members training there, I don't care. But as far as the equipment, yeah, sometimes it's a pain in the ass.
Fans?
Yeah, we have fans.
Just no heaters.
No heaters, no AC.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's always every winter. There's people complaining about the cold. Every summer, there's people complaining about the heat. And I get it. I know that it gets hot. I know that it gets cold. And it's not that I just don't like hearing it. I don't like hearing the complaints. And it's not that I'm, suck it up. Don't be a pussy. It's not that at all. I know that it's hot. But it's just, there's not a whole lot I can do about it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to, I rent the place.
You'll start to triple your rent. You grab it.
Right. And I'm not going to put, $20,000 AC in there.
Yeah.
And even if I could afford it, it would be hard to regulate because everyone would have the doors up.
Well, someone's
It's
still going to
24
complain.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's 70, Alan. You know I deadlift best when it's 60.
Yeah, seriously. It's too cold in here. It's like July, you know what I mean? But I feel like the gym's 24-hour access, and unless I had the thing locked up and like regulated,
sure.
that thing would be going 24/7 for like 4 months in the summer. So anyways,
Your gym membership is going to double, or you're going to deal with the heat,
I
buddy.
know.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess to wrap it up, the last piece that you'd put in the Alan Thrall gym. So we got the rack, the basics. We got a little sled, maybe some sandbags from conditioning. What's the last finishing touch?
snow cone machine.
Dessert. You can't go home without no dessert.
I wouldn't put honestly anything past that. If it's just a general strength training or like Jim said, you can't get to the gym so you can finish your workout in the gym or in your garage. Bar, plates, a rack with a pull-up bar, and a place to deadlift is really all you need. Sandbag for conditioning or a sled. I don't think dumbbells are necessary.
Quick tally of the price then in Alan's head? Or just like an under amount, like this will cost under.
I think $1,000 without shipping.
Oh, wow.
If you got like $500 or $600 rack from Rogue, well, yeah, more than 1,000, probably like 1,500.
Yeah.
$500-$600 rack from Rogue, $300 barbell. Let's see, if you were buying like 500 pounds in plates, that's probably going to be at least $500 if it's $1 a pound.
Yeah.
If you're going out and not paying for shipping.
Maybe the Craigslist plates.
Yeah. Buy some plywood for a deadlift platform, so probably $1,500.
Yeah, that's pretty good
for like the bare minimum. But that would work. I've actually talking about barbells. I think $300 is a good price for a good enough barbell. Casey Neistat has actually made a video before about cameras.
Yeah.
And he talks about diminishing returns, and it's the exact same thing with barbells. If you go from a $100 barbell to a $300 barbell, huge difference in quality.
Mm-hmm.
You go from a $300 bar to a $500 bar, a little bit less difference.
Mm-hmm.
You go from a $500 bar to a $1,200 bar, smallest difference.
Yeah, and unless you're competing on the world stage and you need to feel the same barbell every day that you're going
you
to
need
at
like
the
an
Olympics.
Eleiko power bar.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, I think that the difference between 100 to 300, that's like the sweet spot of a good barbell and a shit barbell.
But even if you're a snob and you want the Eleiko either powerlifting or weightlifting bar, we're still looking at maybe $2,200 then for a whole gym.
Yeah, that's gonna be your home gym doubled.
Yeah,
like twice your home
Yeah.
gym if you're gonna buy a bar like that. But if that's the case, then you're gonna be you better be lifting like 800 pounds.
Yeah,
at
you better
least,
not be
know what
a
I mean?
fucking
So,
sissy.
405 deadlift in your Eleiko bar.
It's the same kind of thing with talking about using kilo plates or calibrated plates that are the thinner plates or whatever versus the just Gen Pop kind of plates. Yes, it does feel different, but no, it doesn't feel that different if you're not lifting huge weights.
Right. Yeah,
If you
exactly.
go into a meet and it's kilo plates, calibrated kilo plates, it's gonna feel a little bit different. You unrack the squat, it'll feel a little bit different when you pull because the bar will.
There's
react
also a crowd
differently.
in front of you. A lot of things are going to feel different.
There's a lot of things. Yeah, like you can't bring in a crowd.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
your conditions are not going to always be the same.
Even though Shaco told me they did.
Bring
He says in Russia they do when they do their gym test. He'll bring in a little crowd. I like that.
that's
Specificity,
cool. It's a
specificity.
That's a thought. Maybe
How much people watch? Yeah.
But you just do it like a gym day. Like we could do it at Untamed. Hey, this Saturday we're all going to test our lifts,
Yeah.
and then everybody's watching. One person's lifting.
Yeah.
You
We'll
just,
put a bunch of lawn chairs out.
yeah, you get a little one guy in a little funny suit
I
judging
like
people.
It. I like it.
pour caffeine down everybody's gullet and go. All right. Well,
Awesome. Where can
That's pretty
people
good.
find you, Alan?
Untamed Strength. If you want to find it on YouTube, just you can type in my name or Untamed Strength. That's not youtube.com/Untamed Strength. It's like a Thrall 7 or something like that. The website is Train Untamed. Instagram is @Untamed Strength. That's
And
it.
Jim, Sacramento, California. Untamed
Jim
Strength.
is Sacramento, California. Yep.
Boom. I'm Silent Mike. 2Ks. Instagram, Twitter. Follow us.
I am the Jim McD, and the show is 50% Facts, where percent is a word. See you next time.